Okay, McLean County Board, Josh Barnett.
Present.
Jacob Beard.
Present.
Lindsay Bloomfield. William Casely. Sharon Chung. Chuck Erickson.
Sure.
William Frederick. George Gordon.
Present.
Elizabeth Johnston.
Here.
Randall Martin. John McIntyre.
Here.
Catherine Metzger.
Present.
Carlo Robustelli.
Present.
Susan Schaefer.
Here.
Logan Smith.
Here.
Jim Soldner.
Here.
Gerald Thompson. Shana Wachinski. George Wendt. Lori Woolrab.
Here.
Moving on to the town of Normal. Mr. McCarthy.
Present.
Mrs. Cummings.
Here.
Mr. Nord.
Here.
Ms. Smith.
Here.
Mrs. Lorenz.
Here.
Mr. Preston.
Here.
Mayor Coos.
Here.
And the city of Bloomington. Councilmember Matthey.
Here.
Councilmember Bolin.
Here.
Councilmember Millenwambe.
Here.
Sorry. Councilmember Emig. Councilmember Painter. Councilmember Carrillo.
Here.
Councilmember Black.
Here.
Councilmember Crable. Councilmember Bray.
Here.
Mayor Renner.
Here.
We have 27 members present, 9 absent. We have a quorum for today. Next, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This meeting is hosted by the City of Bloomington. I also want to just say a special thank you to Illinois State University for providing us this facility. And at this time, we're on item number 4 of our agenda, public comment. Each speaker will get 3 minutes, and according to the rules of the City of Bloomington. And we have one speaker that has signed up, Mr. Mark Taratilli. Like to come up here?
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you. I want to thank the county board for moving their meeting time, making that more accessible to the public. I appreciate that. Bloomington for your public comment policy that's enforced tonight. And I would encourage Normal to take note and allow people to speak off agenda on public comment. I have 2 topics in particular I want to talk about tonight. The first one is if we're here to talk about a sports complex, I want to say that we're far too late to the game. Since the SFA report nearly 18 months ago, and since Doug Damery's report, Betplex, the big one up in Quad Cities, is expanding. Rockford is expanding. St. James and Lincolnshire is moving forward with nearly 500,000 square feet on 41 acres. It opens next year. Springfield's considering 2 sports facilities. One of them is on 133 acres, and St. Louis is building the biggest in the country right now. All of these things are pulling the potential customers away from us. And that's not to mention the ones going up near Warren Dunes, Madison, Wisconsin, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Kansas. All the people that could potentially be doing this are moving away from Normal. The data was not included in the SFA report because this is new developments. The data that was there says that the number of families that are participating in youth sports is declining steadily year by year. The revenue's up, but that's because of all these new sports facilities that are making people pay much more for the facilities and recreation that they already do. We're too late to the game, unfortunately. It was a good idea, but I think we missed it. I want to move on to Connect Transit. I'm encouraging appointments to the current board to fill the vacancies. The board is not waiting for the outcome of the working group. They're moving forward with big ticket items, the downtown transfer center, $12 million in buses, before the working group has had a chance to weigh in on that. They're talking about a half a year's fare increases just for a kiosk in Uptown to sell tickets. A year and a half's worth of fare increases to put in 2 showers at the maintenance facilities. Okay, these are big expenditures that are going forward without regard for the working group. So it's pointless to wait to appoint people until the working group is done. We need representation in there now. We need different ideas because we're not getting good use of the funds that they have. Particular example, the electric buses. The proposal only looked at 35 and 40-foot electric buses. There are 30-foot electric buses. We all know the buses are nowhere near full that sell for 40% less. They're just as wide, they have just as low of a floor, meaning they're just as accessible to wheelchairs and all the attachments that we put forth. They just carry fewer passengers, they're significantly lighter, don't use as much energy, and they could save a huge amount of money. With those kinds of savings, you could probably run Connect Transit fare free. You would need to be talking about becoming their own taxing authority. So I would encourage the city councils, the town council to put new members on the board. Taxing authority is not what's needed, especially in light of Unit 5 coming to us trying to propose another tax levy when they're hurting after all the incentives that were given out by the previous director of the Economic Development Council. So I welcome Patrick Hobson, and I pray that you will do a better job than your predecessor in that regard. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Tertilli.